Good morning, everyone. I'm here. Just had to turn on the camera. Hello. Today, we are going to learn how to iron. I know it sounds really crazy that I'm going to do a segment about ironing, but most people really don't know how to do it correctly. And this is something that, I believe, let's take a look. That is one thing that you want to know. Before you start ironing anything, look at your tag and find out what it's made of. This says it's 50% cotton, 40% polyester, 5%, I guess it doesn't want to tell me, but that's okay. So it's basically a cotton poly blend. And what I do is I put it on the highest heat setting that there is on your iron. I do have a steamer button. This also sprays water. You saw in our other, see it sprays some water. This is actually not a particularly thick fabric. It's pretty thin because it does have the rayon in it. So it will iron pretty quickly. So it's basically is like linen or cotton setting. So what do you iron first? Where do we start? I don't know. What do we do? Okay, let me tell you. First thing you want to start with are your sleeves. Easiest way to get your sleeve at the right place is to follow. Every shirt has an inside seam right here. That's the one that goes inside your armpit and down here. So you want to make sure that that is all in line. And that's how you know exactly where the line will end up. This one has a little bit of a pleat on top of the sleeve. So I'm going to be very careful when I do it. Again, I love spray sizing, spray starch, if that's whatever you want to call it. I like a medium starch because I don't like my clothes crunchy, but I like them to look crisp and it'll last longer throughout the day. Plus your clothes will actually look newer. If you have a shirt that has a lot of fuzzes on it and things like that, if you use it and you iron it, it'll make it look brand new. Please hang up your good clothes. Wash them on cold. Cold saves money, it saves energy, and it's actually great for the environment. So if you can, use cold. And so what I'm going to do, I say things from the 70s, but technically I really actually grew up in the 80s. Yeah, I'm an 80s girl. And I will show you how to do 80s hair without the perm and without damaging your hair. That's the key. So here we go. We're doing the sleeves first. Go all the way down, spray it first. Another trick to do, spray the underside so you don't have to flip it. Depending on your material and how thick it is, this is how you go. And now, since we lined all of that up, and I have my steam on, as you can see. Okay. There we go. Both sides are done. Do your other sleeve. Same exact thing. We're going to be very quick. I like to iron my clothes, unbutton buttons as much as you can. This is a dress, therefore I'm actually not going to unbutton all of these just because I really don't feel like it. I'll show you a trick on how to make them look great without having to take all of the buttons off. As far as the sleeves though, of course, undo your sleeves. Again, find that, excuse me, that middle, excuse me, allergies a little bit today. Plus it's really cold in my room, like I told you before. I have that extra air conditioner in here. Gotta love it. So just take it and rock it back and forth. Your iron, this is the trick right here. Back and forth, slow little teeny tiny movements. That is how you get the perfect press. And you have your perfect pleat front on your jeans, khaki pants for the men, women, your life. And again, like I told you to do earlier, spray both sides, which I should have done first, it saves you time. And then just go over that And I did show you on another video, but in case you missed it, see, now that's done. And I did show you on another video, whoops, excuse me, the fabulous little trick to get this brown gook off of here. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not sure. My clothes aren't dirty, but it seems to appear all the time. You can only scrub it so many times and then it's time for a new iron. What I like to do is just spray the iron, make sure it's non-stick. I'll sit here and go like this to get the gook off if it happens while I'm doing a shirt, so, or pants. If you're ironing a white shirt, put a towel on top of it, or even a paper towel, something thin, so you get the heat, but you do not have to worry about getting that nasty brown garbage on there. So what I'm doing is this has a part of a sleeve. Excuse me for the running nose. The next part you want to do is the collar. People often wonder, why is this pointed this way? Why is this square this way? Well, here I'm going to show you. Let me get rid of my little scrunchie here. Okay, they're scrubby. So excited, scrunchies are back. Excuse me, my nose is running. My husband would say, go catch it. Yeah, dad jokes. He is the king of them all. I actually found a shirt where it says he is the king of dad jokes. So here is what that is for. Look at that. Do you see that right there? It makes a perfect area for you to do your sleeve and the top of your collar. So that's what you want to do next. Actually, you want to do the collar next. My bad. I was getting all excited to show you what things are for. Get your collar. Always spray the back of the collar, not the front. And the reason why is this. This stuff, especially on dark garments, can end up leaving little white flakes every once in a while. And this one, spray both sides, that way you can hit it. And all right, this stiff sniffling's driving me crazy. I'm sorry if it's driving you crazy. But anyway, here we go. Again, the reason why you end up with those bunch of little wrinkles in there is because you're going fast. Don't go fast. Nice and slow, even. Go all the way out to the end, hold it there, press that end back in. See? Nice and slowly. That way you don't get a double wrinkle, which is so annoying because they're so hard to get out. Okay, now our collar is finished and we do not need to do the other side. This is the side that shows. Just leave it sit up until you're done with the rest of your shirt. Now, let's go back to where we were. Excuse me 1 second. I just need my tissue because this is driving me crazy. Excuse me. Told you before, I'll tell you again. You're just gonna see me exactly as I am. I have nothing to hide. We are all human. Everybody's nose runs. I even had my adenoids out when I was a kid because my mother said my nose ran too much, so I wish it would have worked, but at least it still works. So anyway, you can see on the sleeve, we have a perfectly crisp line. Isn't that great? Yeah. Ironing to me, I love it. Always makes my family look put together, and it doesn't take that long to do. The biggest thing is get everything out of the dryer, everything out of the washer. Throw it in the dryer for just a couple of minutes to get it warm. That's my Aunt Denise's trick. Shout out to you up in heaven, Aunt Denise. I love you, I miss you, but I see your signs all the time. And Dan, my cousin, he and I are having fun in our adult lives, getting to know each other as adults. It's really cool. So then the next part you want to do is do your back. Again, this is something you start with up here. This is why that's there, because your perfect little shoulders are here. This end over here is to get up inside the sleeve, right in here. So you can, you know, if you're doing a formal dinner and you really want everything to look great and your pleats to look fantastic. See here, I have a problem because in the wash it rolled up. Something that I do want to teach everyone about is please wash your clothing before you wear it. Not so much, I mean, yes, of course, germs, corona, the flu, things like that. But the biggest thing is that there is, and wait for it, this is for real, there's formaldehyde. Yes, the stuff that is used on people who have passed away in the funeral home. They actually drain them. I'm not trying to get morbid here, but I'm just being honest and truthful, so you can always learn a new piece of knowledge. I'm really good at Jeopardy, by the way. I want to try out for it. So anyway, they replace the blood with formaldehyde, but formaldehyde is a preservative. That's why they use it for people who have passed away, to preserve the body. And they use it in your clothes so they stay unwrinkled, wrinkle-free. You don't want that. For me, I have a seriously big allergic reaction to formaldehyde. If I would, even just trying on clothes, if I don't come home, wash my face and take a shower, I will end up breaking out and looking like I had the worst sunburn in my life without going to the Bahamas or some fantastical place. So wash your clothes, hang them up. Now, a lot of times, this is another tip. I know this can be boring. I'm just sitting here ironing and showing you what to do. And then you want to just continue to go around the garment. You don't need to take it off. You noticed, I hope, I put the garment inside so that I'm not actually doing the garment with both sides down. I'm doing one side at a time. Now we just did those sleeves, so I'm going to let that sleeve just like hang right over there. That's what the edge is for. And I'm just, you know, rolling it like a rolling pin. So my fabric just goes. I'm gonna need another can of this, which I do have. Always have a spare. It's very inexpensive, spray starch, spray sizing, all that good stuff. So again, I'm just easily, watch your cord because your cord is going to drive you nuts. I will too. He's sleeping. Every time I move out of my spot in bed, that's where he immediately goes. But, so what was I saying about, oh, that darn concussion from being rear-ended. Rears its ugly really little head again. This is what's so hard about it. But making these videos helps because I want to make sure that I get my memory back 100%. Definitely not there almost 2 months later, but I'll get there. Positive thoughts, prayers, vibes, lots of physical therapy. Okay, we are officially out. Let me get my other back up. Sorry about that. Once I watch the video back and I see what I was talking about, I'll put it in the notes down there and tell you what I was going to say because I don't remember at all what I was about to tell you. Man, that short-term memory stuff, so a bad word. So anyway, you want to, again, anything you have a problem area that sticks up, give it a extra little shot. And you'll hear this. I love this noise. And as you can see, I have the steam on. It's not necessary, but it helps. The thicker the fabric, the more steam you really want to use. And so here we go. All right. So as you see, I'm doing in between each button. Now, if I were to unbutton this whole entire shirt, that would make it look crisp. If we were going out formally, I would absolutely unbutton everything, go through every little hole and do that, but I'm not going to. We're only heading to the grocery store today. Why not look your best wherever you go, right? So now you can see this is annoying here. We will get to that. Next part. Just keep on moving along. Slowly line it up. But I was saying that when you do a couple of things for the washer, a couple of tricks that I'll tell you. For your towels, if you ever notice your towels don't seem to be drying you as much as you would like them to. It feels like, oh, I just am wiping the water around. It's because you put fabric softener in your load. Towels, I mean, if you want them to smell fresh, a couple of drops, and I'm literally saying drops, a few drops, that's all it takes. I don't use any. Oh, watch the cord because it'll get wrapped around here. You do not want, maybe that was it, but you don't want the cord to undo all of the fantastic things that you have just done. So here's one of my tricks. I just put it behind me. Another mind-blowing moment to get the cord out of the way. With vacuuming, same thing. Put it over your shoulder. That way you're not running over the vacuum cleaner cord constantly. How annoying is that? Very annoying in my opinion. So we're just ironing here again. I'm just simply going around and around. See, I have those little spots. How do you get rid of those little spots? Little bit of heat. Another thing to do is that I'm going to show you a life hack. If you just have a shirt and you didn't have time to fold it and it's stuck in the dryer and it got all wrinkled up and you put it on and you're like, oh man, I really do not have time to iron. I don't have time for this right now. Guess what you can use? Your hair dryer. Not kidding. It works phenomenally. Like on cotton t-shirts, the best. Just spray a little bit of your spray sizing on. Now, don't burn yourselves, okay? Please don't burn yourself. Put it on a medium setting when you're blowing it at you. Put the blow dryer inside your shirt and whoosh, and all of a sudden you don't have any wrinkles. It's like magic. I just figured that out on my own about 2 weeks ago. I'm like, I really am not pulling out that ironing board right now because I had just ironed my skirt and I thought, oh, and it worked. It worked really well. So I wanted to share that with you. Who would have thought? It does make sense. I do have a steamer as well. Irons for me, I don't know, I happen to really like them. So, and here comes that spot again. I don't know why. Somebody knows the answer to that and why irons get that. It might be, you can tell me that it's the water that I use. It's not, because I actually use, in this iron, I've only used filtered water. That's another trick for any of your appliances you have. A humidifier, for when your kids are sick or you're sick, a humidifier, use either distilled water or purified water. It gets all of those minerals out. And also when you're boiling, when you're making sure, don't try to save time by using hot water. Use cold water. You don't get all the gook from the stuff that's in the hot water tank. Okay, back to ironing. Here we go. We're almost finished now. And I would have had that done a lot quicker, but like I told you, I like to talk. So here is what this is for. Look at that. Isn't that great? Fits perfect. Boom. Because it's really hard to get this little area right here. So that is why that area is there. That's why your ironing board is shaped the way that it is. Use it because that's the way it was designed. Somebody was smart and figured, hey, how can I make the use out of and make my life easier? Everything is all about making your life easier, so you have time to enjoy the good stuff in life, right? That's the one I just ironed. Whoops. No, that was right the first time. Okay. So here we go. You see that spot? It'll go away. Just add a little bit of heat. And that's what that thing is for. And then we have have our collar. It's ready to go. Make sure I didn't mess anything up. Flip that down. I do not hard press and make a line on any of my collars because sometimes I like to pull them up. Yeah, it must be an 80s thing. Love it. So what I'm going to do instead of, here, this is the trick. If you do not want to unbutton your shirt prior to getting your buttons, because you know, the first thing everybody sees is the front of your shirt and you don't want to look like a wrinkled mess. So button up your shirt, leave your collar up. See, important, otherwise it would have flattened itself down. Now, what we're going to do is easily turn this inside out. Don't worry about your sleeves. They're in there. They're not going to go anywhere. And why pull them through and make them wrinkled? Not necessary. Just turn it upside down. How about that? Make sure your garment is cool whenever you are moving it around like I'm doing. Otherwise, the reason why the iron works is because it's heat. It makes everything hot and it heats up the fabric, and that's what makes your clothes get nice and ironed. So if you're gonna move it around while it's still hot, guess what? The wrinkles are gonna come right back. We don't want that. So here we go. I'm just spraying this really heavily actually on the buttons, and I'm gonna do it again on the inside here. Line it up so it's nice and straight. Make sure your collar overlaps. Okay, that's a key. Whoops, I missed a button here. That'll make sure that you don't have any extra wrinkles, and it just looks much more clean and pressed. Line everything up, and this is where you need to just take your time. Don't, again, putting this behind me so that I don't mess up everything I did. See, this is the reason why I do it on the back side. Look at what I just did. Can you see that? I wish I could zoom in, but I have an extra big wrinkle. Now I don't have it on this side because I flipped it inside out. Yes, you could do your buttons first if you wanted to. Do whatever you want to do. To get that out, easily go right back over it. Pull it just a little bit, slowly work with it, the tip. Just a little bit. There we go. All right, now back to normal. Okay, so what I'm doing is, like I said before, I'm just going backwards and going slowly, getting rid of all of that. You'll know it's done when it's not wet anymore. I did get a little bit extra. Make sure you follow the whole entire length of the button. I don't know what it's called. The button up. Like zippers are called zippers. I don't know, maybe it's a button fly, but it's not really a fly. But where your buttons are connected on your shirt. And slowly go down. As you can see, I'm holding this together because I don't want to mess up my collar. I just did that. Oh, a trick that is good, keep your clothes in the dryer so that you get them out of the washer. Throw them in for about 5 or 6 minutes or so on high heat, and then hang them up so that they won't shrink, but yet you get most of the wrinkles out. And hang them up. What I like to do, I know the laundry room, sometimes if you put them in the laundry room, you end up getting that funky smell. And I'll show you how to get rid of that funky smell too. Actually, I'll tell you how to do it. Leave your washer lid open. If you have a door like I have a front loader, leave it open whenever you are done with your laundry. Leave it open, leave it cracked. Don't shut it. That's why it stinks. Mold grows in there so quickly. Okay, so here we have it. Now let's see what it looked like. So it should just be nice, and buttoned, and crisp. And we are all done. Now, again, I said wait, because this, I know this is thicker now. So I want to make sure that it's not hot. So let's give it a little bit of a shake to cool it down. Make sure you have, and I just got this. think Dollar General was $10. Make sure you have an ironing pad on top of this. You can use a towel sometimes to help. All right, whoa, all right. Don't need that anymore. Gently take your collar, get it back right side out. Look at that. Buttons are absolutely perfect. Ta-da! And it's all ready to go. So now what I'm going to do is just, and if you happen to see it, if you messed anything up, just take a look and press it out. This I see, I kind of like it a little bit. I have this little button where I can spray the water too. Whenever you have things that have a stretch in it, like I love skirts in the spring or the spring and summertime, and even in the fall. Skirts are awesome because just so easy and they look nice. You can dress them up, you can dress them down, and life is good. With skirts, anything that has a poly stretch to it, make sure you do not use water on those. I will show you. Let me just grab a hanger and I'll grab that so I can show you about that. And it freaked me out when I did it the first time. And I thought, oh my gosh, oh no, I remember what I was going to tell you. Oh, now I remember, yay. Because it had to do with this skirt. Whenever you do purchase something, you know, clothing is expensive. Shoes are expensive. Household items, everything in this world is expensive anymore. And I see reviews all the time where people say, oh, I loved it until I washed it and then I can't ever wear it again. Absolutely true. So what you need to do is take it back. Save your receipts. Now they have the option to email them to you. Put them in a little, with your iPhone, take a picture of your receipt. We all have phones with us right now. Take a picture of your receipt so you have proof of when you bought it. And also I do that for mileage too. If I'm doing something for work or anything like that, I always take a picture of my speedometer and put it in a little file in my phone. And I do that with receipts. So if something happens, let me just grab a little bit of water. Forgot that, sorry. Excuse me one more time. Should have been prepared, but I'm not. I wasn't. I didn't expect to do this part, but as I was saying, if something does not turn out the way that you like it, even if you wore it, take it back. Macy says that if items are removed, your tags are removed, they will not take it back. If it's damaged, no, I'm not saying go wear it and then say, oh, it's damaged or it didn't fit with it. No, don't do that because that's like stealing. But what I'm saying is if you spent your good hard-earned money, even if it was $2, I don't care. $2 is worth something. So take it back. Tell them that it's damaged. And let me tell you what, they will take it back. I promise you, they will take it back. They will. So here's what happened with this. I absolutely love this. This is a skirt that I bought. It is, what kind? It's Charter Club, and it's super stretchy. I should have gotten a small. This one's a medium. And this one's regular length, and my petite one is like up to here, which I like that better. So, but anyway, so I had accidentally got some water on this, and watch what happens when that happens. Water gets in there. Oh, now just beat it off. Okay. So I went and I got water on it, and I thought to myself, look what happened to this fabric. Wait till you see. I stretched it. That's what happened. Can you see that? That's not an illusion. This fabric, I'm going to come closer. This fabric has literally like made itself into this crinkly, terrible, absolutely unwearable. You see that? Hope you can see that. See, now you can see that, I'm sure. And it's not wearable. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna end up taking these back because no matter how many times I ironed it, these little dimples would not come out. Well, what do I have to lose? I threw it in the washer and threw it in the dryer. Guess what? Came out perfect. Now I'm gonna have to do it again, even though it's clean. But I wanted to show you that. On some things, you definitely do not want to use steam or water. I do use spray sizing on this, but I turn it inside out because again, it is black, but there's no way to get those out. It's going to dry like this. It'll stay like this, but it's not ruined. It wasn't a lost cause. Here, I thought it was a lost cause. And yeah, see, look at that. That looks terrible. Bizarre fabric. What kind of, I don't even know what it's made of. Let's see. I'm sure there's a lot of poly in it. Well, can't read that language. Let's try another. Okay. From what I see, I can't, it's 100% polyester. So, even though it feels nice, look at that. You'd think that that was ruined. Throw it in the dryer. I happen to have another one over here. This is the petite. And this is what it looks like after it came out of the dryer. How about that? Looks like brand new, except it needs ironed. So on this, you do not want your water, and I'm not even gonna do it because I have a wet water spot here and I am not wanting to rewash these again. So there's your trick. Especially, see, there's that stuff. I don't know, maybe I need a new pad. I think I'm gonna buy a new pad because now look at that. Time for a new iron, I think, or a new ironing board. But that's it. Just wanted to show you how to do some quick, simple things with ironing. And as always, you'll end up hearing more tips and tricks than you anticipated on just such a little segment on something so simple that we all have to do. I hope you have a great day. Have a good one. The homemade is out the door.